I was basically playing in blues clubs as often as I could, and was often getting called to be a rhythm guitarist for like people who were heroes of mine: Otis Rush, Peppers, Earl Hooker on the West Side, and sometimes I'd have to take buses because sometimes I actually didn't have rides, and it was a pretty crazy time when I think about what the life was then. Pretty different than gigging now, and it's a world that in many respects has disappeared. It was, blues was a folk music on the south side of Chicago in a way, and I don't mean banjos and, hayseeds coming out of guys' mouths. I mean a folk music in the sense that working people would go after work and catch people and dance, and they wanted to hear music that would take them away from kind of what their workaday world was. And virtually all of them were black. They were neighborhood people. And I was part of the first, or arguably maybe the second wave of young white kids that actually wanted to be part of that. Maybe 4 or 5 years earlier, Butterfield and Bloomfield, both of whom I became, friendly with later, but they were maybe 4 or 5 years older, and they were kind of the first wave of people who had kind of been, so I was not the first white face that a lot of people saw in blues clubs, but I may have been the fifth white face, if you know what I mean. It was Charlie Musselwhite and Bloomfield and Butterfield, and that was pretty much it, and Elvin, and then people like me. And I started getting hired for rhythm guitar gigs. Again, Earl Hooker, Junior Wells, Buddy Guy on occasion, Otis Rush, Sam Lay. I was the only guitar player in his band for quite a while. And I hooked up with a guy who, his name was Jeff Karp, and we did many tours with some of the people I mentioned, way out of, on West Coast as well as kind of regional to the Midwest and stuff like that. And at some point, that life, I was working 5-6 nights a week, and you can get burned out on that. And
was that your only job? Was that what you were doing for a living?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a pretty small living,
yeah.
But
you weren't going to college, or?
Well, I actually left college in order to do that. I mean, I was at the University of Chicago for a year and a half, and it became clear to me I really liked UC. I had deliberately chose it, was lucky to get into it, and the idea that I was not doing justice by my studies because I was spending all my days and nights in blues clubs, and therefore didn't have much days. That kind of dawned on me pretty early that I'm just wasting my parents' small amount of money that they have sending me here, and I'm going to take a little break, and that little break lasted about 50 years, and I figured I would go back, but I just wanted to, quote, get this out of my system, and I never really got it out of my system.